Hello, Jasper and I would love to welcome you back to our channel. Today we are discussing summer reads. So we're going to be discussing my summer recommendations to you, as well as my summer TBR that I may or may not end up following because I am a mood reader. But these are the books that I am in the mood for to read during the summer months. And a few of them I'm really excited about, and I'm trying to not get too ahead of myself. And I also feel like some of these books you will have seen in other videos because I need any excuse to talk about them. And I've also realized I haven't read that many books that I would consider summery reads. And I feel like this year I want to change that. So you will see that reflected in the books that I'm in the mood to read this summer. But first off, let's start with my summary recommendations for you guys. So keep in mind, this list is books that I recommend that I feel like have summery vibes or take place in the summer, or I just feel like will be the right thing for you to read this summer. A few of these are pretty obvious picks, and some of them you will have seen me talk about, and it's just because I will find any excuse to talk about these books. And the first one being Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I feel like this is a book that you need to read this summer. It's historical fiction. This follows Shakespeare's family, and Shakespeare is a part of the story, but he is never named. Obviously, he's there because it's his family and he is intertwined into their lives, but the focus is not on Shakespeare at all. The imagery in this book, the writing, is some of the best I've ever read. And I don't know why, but I feel like a lot of historical fiction novels are very long. This one is not, although I wouldn't have minded if it was longer. It's a story about grief, it's a story about motherhood, and it's just such a beautiful story about people who kind of fall to the background of someone who is so well known and famous. Again, this is fictionalized, but it just got me thinking about how Shakespeare is so well known and we have so many stories about him. Well, actually, we have so many stories from him, not very many about him that I know of. But we don't really think about his family or what it was like for his wife or his children. This book, Hamnet, is about Shakespeare's son as well. And it's really sad, but it's told in such a beautiful, captivating way that I couldn't put it down. And even in the moments where I felt sad, I was grateful for it. Also, this has the most beautifully done, intimate scene I have ever read. That was poetic. On that note, this is a book that you need to add to your TBR this summer. I've said enough. Next up, we have Circe by Madeline Miller. This is one of those books that was among the few that got me back into reading fiction after college. A Greek mythology retelling of Circe, and again, this one's similar to Hamnet. The writing and the imagery and the setting is what really makes this summery for me. It's also such an empowering female story. There were so many quotes and things that I actually didn't underline them because it was before the days where I allowed myself to annotate my books, but I have a note in my phone of just quotes from this book, and let me read some of them to you. My God, my back is broken. Ugh. Jasper, I am so grateful that you... Do you guys see that? Because that is about the cutest thing I've ever seen. I am so lucky to have cats. Jasper is not my only cat. If you guys didn't know, I have 3. I found them underneath an abandoned car. They were kittens. What was I to do? I had to keep them. Hi, puppy. I've never loved anyone more in my life. Who else has like a million notes in their phone? And do we ever go back to them? Not really. And some of them are pretty incriminating, not gonna lie. Here are some of my favorite quotes from this. If you hate quotes, skip ahead like 2 minutes. 2 children he had, and he had not seen either clearly, but perhaps no parent can truly see their child. When we look, we only see the mirror of our faults. I'm not a parent, but for some reason that hit. I would say some people are like constellations that only touch the earth for a season. So sad. But he was a harp with only one string, and the note it played was himself. We all know somebody like that. Oh, bye. He does not mean that we are not frightened, only that we are here, that this is what it means to swim in the tide, to walk the earth and feel it touch your feet. This is what it means to be alive. I feel like I need to reread this book because I feel like there are different quotes in it that I would appreciate more at the stage I am in my life now and relate it to things that I'm going through now versus what I was going through 4 years ago. But regardless, this book is a must read for your summer TBR. And again, I know it's extremely popular. A lot of these summer picks are extremely popular because I just don't gravitate towards them, so I only end up reading them because they're popular. I mean, need I say more? Beach read, book lovers, funny story, happy place. Jasper, no. Plastic eating. Come here. Jasper and Juniper are very addicted to eating any plastic they can find, so if I get a new package, they're instantly over there chewing on it. I don't understand why. Does anyone else's cat do that? Emily Henry. Read her books, enjoy them. Her settings are everything. They are so summery. Mwah, chef's kiss. Taylor Jenkins Reid. If you have not read Daisy Jones and the Six, it's about a fictional band in the 70s. It is told in a documentary style where they are interviewing each of the band members years later. It's so different from anything I've ever read. The quotes, as you can see, I annotated the crap out of this. I loved it. Also the Netflix, I think it's Netflix. Anyways, the series that they made after this, iconic. The actors did such a good job. Cannot praise this book enough. It's also very summery vibes. What's more summery than this cover? Give me something. I'm waiting. Malibu Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Read it, know it, love it. I will say I felt the most amount of summer vibes while reading this book. It wasn't my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I love all of her books, so it was still a really, really amazing time for me. Set in August of 1983 in Malibu. What gets more summery than that? And it's just like, you're getting all the tea, you're getting all the drama. It's very fun. It's a very fun read. Okay, what better way to enjoy your summer than to sit back, relax, and read some poetry? Pick up Mary Oliver's Dream Work. I love her poetry because it's really focused on nature. I also really love her short story collection, Upstream. I need to buy myself a copy so I can reread it. The nature, the imagery, iconic. Wendy Cope, also some great cutie little poems. The super famous Orange poem is in here, and I, like everyone else, I'm obsessed with it. I really need to pick a different poem that's my favorite poem because that's everybody's favorite poem. But if you want to get into poetry, no better time like the summertime to do it. Last but not least, another summer romance. Because I don't know how to read I don't have any other summery book recommendations for you guys because all of the books that I read are sad, dark, depressing, fall vibes. I don't know why. We're gonna change that here in a moment. But anyway, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This book is fun. The banter is great. Honestly, a lot of it has already left my brain. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to figure out how to explain this plot to you guys. Essentially, our two love interests don't even remember their names. Both think that they're cursed in that anyone they date will then break up with them and then find the love of their lives after them. They meet through a Reddit thread and decide to date each other to cancel out the curse. Kind of an emotional read. A lot of people say this destroyed them and they were crying. It didn't do that for me. I will say it was a little bit emotional, but I think I read really emotional, sad books, so this one just didn't. Or maybe I just didn't connect to the characters like some people. I don't know. Some people say this made them cry a lot. It wraps up. There's a happy ending. It's a rom-com. Don't worry. Again, the summery vibes, this setting, perfection. Moving into what I will be reading this summer or what I hope to accomplish this summer. First of all, I want to talk about something so serious. So many people say that Ellen Hildebrand is the queen of summery books, and I feel like I need to find some more summery reads. I'm trying to have a Sarah Dessen summer. If you read Sarah Dessen when you were younger, like I did in middle school, Sarah Dessen summers were so iconic, and I want to have that same feeling but at my age of 28. So I think the only way to do that is to read what people call old lady books, but by the queen of summery books herself. Apparently, almost all of her books are set in Nantucket, and I'm trying to have myself a Nantucket summer, okay? I'm not messing around. I've been discussing with myself and TikTok which Ellen Hildebrand books I should start with, and I've settled on either 28 Summers, Summer of 69, or the Nantucket Hotel, or the 5-Star Weekend. One of those four. I haven't purchased them yet because I'm still brewing. I'm still thinking about which one. I might end up reading all of them, honestly. I feel like I should. I feel like I should just read them all. Also, her book, Swan Song, just came out, so I might give that a try. So 5. 5 Ellen Hildebrand books. Then I'll have some summer recs for you guys that are all from the same author. I need to vary my taste a little bit. Anyway, if you guys have read Ellen Hildebrand, again, I've said this before, never cut yourself bangs. If you guys have any recommendations for which Ellen Hilderbrand book I should read, then let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love romance. I also love some more family dynamic, friendships, character-driven stories. So recommend to me what you will. Then, aside from that, I also want to read Diary of a Void by Emi Yagi. I actually am going to read this probably after I finish what I'm reading now, which is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. But I really want to get into this one. Basically, this is about a woman who works in an office and she decides to fake her own pregnancy to get out of things. And then obviously it goes too far because when 9 months is approaching and she's not pregnant, people start to wonder what's going on. These books aren't gonna necessarily be summary, but I want to read them in the summer, okay? Don't come for me. Then we have Emma by Jane Austen. I want to read this summer. One, because I've heard so many good things about it, and I've had it on my shelf for like 3 years at this point, and she's got to go. Like, I need to read this and be done with it. This cover is absolutely atrocious, but regardless, I want to read it. Then this book I actually want to read straight after I read Diary of the Void, Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. This one is centered on female friendships, and you follow two best friends from the time that they are children all the way up through their entire lives. I just want a book about female friendship. I'm just in a place in my life where I really want to read something like that. Again, this book has emotionally destroyed a lot of people, and I'm feeling like a cathartic cry will be good for me this summer. Then we have Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. This will be my first Rebecca Searle book, and I'm honestly really excited. This book is about a woman who, anytime she meets a man, she receives a slip of paper with his name on it and an expiration date, or the exact amount of time that they will be together, until she meets someone where she receives the paper and it just has his name, no expiration date. So I'm really excited to see. I mean, it sounds really obvious what's gonna happen, so I'm wondering if it's gonna be good or like how this is gonna play out, you know? Then, of course, I had to throw a little thriller in there. That is A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. This one I am so excited to read because it's about a woman who discovers that her husband is a serial killer. It's messed up, but I just always wonder about the women whose husbands have been serial killers, because I'm pretty sure Ted Bundy had a wife. Imagine that level of, I would never be able to trust anyone else again. On that note, I am excited to read this. It also looks very short, and I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this. I actually haven't seen any reviews about this book, so I have no idea what people's consensus is on it so far. But regardless, I am very excited to read this. And then I also want to read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is the last Emily Henry book that I have to read, and I feel like I'm gonna love it, even though this is everybody's least favorite. Apparently, it is about two best friends who are no longer best friends, and I don't know, they fall in love. That's all I know it's about. I have no idea really the whole premise of this, but I have no intention of fully reading the back. I do have a lot of other books on my TBR in general. I have been on a real fantasy kick lately, and I do want to finish the rest of the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. But I don't want to add too many books to this TBR because it's already kind of getting out of hand, and I want to try to keep it realistic for the summer. And summer in my mind is June, July, August, maybe a little bit of September, depending on if I'm wanting to hold on to that last bit of summer or if I'm trying to dive into autumnal vibes, which I'm so excited for. No. I am so excited for summer and summery vibes. But I also love autumn, and when we get to autumn, I'm just so excited for content on this channel, lifestyle things, pumpkin spice lattes, Gilmore Girls, all the basic things that are basic for a reason because they're good and we love them. Regardless though, summer is upon us, and I'm so excited to get into these books. I'm so excited to be recommended. I'm so excited to dive into the world of Ellen Hilderbrand, and I really hope that I like her books because people have really hyped them up. And the covers look so summery. I'm like, okay, I need to have my Nantucket summer. Anyway, let me know what books you guys are reading this summer in the comments below, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!